list, Mark?
I have 3 teams that are compliant with the articles of the death list. The Enforcers, the Dice, and the Rustlers.
And I was going to say, the Hot Dice, you seem to like this team. I guess they uphold to your death standards.
You know what? The Hot Dice are a bunch of chumps just like the other teams in this league. However, as I said, they are compliant with the articles of the death list.
And really quickly, talk about the Riot, the Illinois Riot, the team we see over here. That was Kenneth Loeb's creation. That was his throwback team. Comment on the Riot.
Right, and you see how far they've come. They are the scab team of the league. They're no good. They'll never be any good.
All right, Mark D'Amato, we'll see what happens with your newly gained power. Right now, back to you, Rory and Hawk.
All right, Danny, and our own Julie Lynch has looked into some of D'Amato's powers, and here's what she found out.
Is Enforcer Captain Mark D'Amato really a misunderstood man? Yes, he does spend most of his time picking fights and beating on people, but maybe his newfound power will help him to mature.
Before Enforcer Mark D'Amato became Union leader, and before his team became Wild West Shootout champions, Mark D'Amato claims he was content with his relaxing lifestyle. His days consisted of karate lessons, interior decorating, and leisurely airplane rides. Now D'Amato claims he's bogged down with work at the WSL Sweatshop, the World Skating League headquarters. Much of his time is spent pondering important league decisions. He claims he's irate because the WSL forced him to use their company car. The stress of the job has forced D'Amato into intense meditation. And although his physical therapy is terribly painful, we found him there religiously day after grueling day. Some might think a tattooed monster like D'Amato is underqualified for running $1 million league. He assures us he's doing fine.
Well, it's nice to see Mark D'Amato happy, isn't it?
Rory, he's a mess.
I'm always concerned for his happiness. Well, there's Patsy Delgado as the women get set to come on the track for the next period. Patsy Delgado for the Riot, and of course, Shea Brown wanting to continue to dominate in the second half.
And there's the kind of action Hawk likes to talk about. That is what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about?
That's what I thought.
That's what I'm talking about.
Here we go. Period number 3. The women on the track. And for the Illinois Riot, Crystal Schneider gets out first. And she's out there against the Nevada Hot Dice Gemmer. And I think that's Mindy Smith. Indeed it is. Mindy Smith takes Crystal Schneider and says, yeah, Rory, it's me, Mindy. I can knock him down with the best of them.
Well, and Mindy Smith has really added a lot of aggression to her speed from last year, Rory. We saw this in Las Vegas in the Wild West Shootout. She's got a whole new attitude, and she seems to somewhere have got a punch. I don't know where she gets it, but she's not only fast, but she can also play physical. And you see that? She seems to be conspiring with Shea Brown.
Speaking of aggression, right? There's Shea Brown, Mindy Smith, and there's the whip right under the legs and under the double block of Patsy Delgado and Shauna Brown. Let's see how many they give her. 2 points. She got them both.
Well, hopefully Shea Brown has figured out that she can actually play a game and make a statement. She doesn't have to keep talking, but what a great between-the-leg whip to Mindy Smith. And that's absolutely what the Hot Dice have to stick with, is their physical ability, because the women, both on the whole team of the Riot, but especially the women, just do not match up with the physical ability of the Nevada Hot Dice.
Not so far, anyway. And right now, with a 14-8 lead, the Hot Dice out there again for the Illinois Riot. Millie Guthrie gets out of the jam. There you see Millie Guthrie with the black knee pads and the red uniform, and she's out there against Laura Weintraub of the Hot Dice. It's the first time we've seen Weintraub jam tonight. And she's out of the jam right now as she gets sent into the rail. That leaves Millie Guthrie, who picks one up. Nice little move high up on the track. And now she slips down. The jam continues, however, for another 15 seconds. The Hot Dice have a chance to pick up some points as well as Weintraub is caught up. But Millie Guthrie with some fancy skating picking up the points. Just 3 seconds left in the jam. Good job done by Millie Guthrie.
Well, we talked about Millie Guthrie and or Crystal Schneider having to really emerge as someone for the women to score some points. Little Richard Brown has challenged the women, and Millie Guthrie, we saw her in the first half showing that she can skate. Right here we're seeing it once again. and she went right around Mindy Smith, who we were just talking about as being a very agile, apt skater. Went around a little Kim Hart, does a little spin move.
But after all of that, all they gave her was 2 points.
But they kept the jammer helmet on, Rory. I think little Richard Brown, never to miss an opportunity, sees that she's got a little bit of spark under her. He's just desperately trying to find somebody. He's going with what got him here so far.
He's looking through that women's team and saying, who've I got? Who can get me some points out there? And he says, Millie, take that helmet again and get out there again. So she does against 2 Hot Dice jammers. 14-10, the Hot Dice lead. Millie Guthrie takes care of one of them. And now she's got Mindy Smith in front of her. So it's Smith for the Hot Dice in the white and Millie Guthrie again in the red for the Illinois Riot. Guthrie goes down low and puts the right leg up and takes out Smith. Wow, she's going to try it 2 in a row now to pick up some points. But Shea Brown's back there to block. And she puts that right elbow right into the chest and then whacks her with another one. Trying to get by down low, can't do it. And now getting a little help from Patsy Delgado, who knocks down, or from Shauna Brown, rather, who knocks her sister, Shea Brown, down.
Well, I talked about Shea Brown maybe getting tired. Patsy Delgado, some of the other Illinois Riot women, they're scoring some points here today, Rory. That tongue lashing I'm sure they got from little Richard Brown all this week and before the game, maybe having an impact.
After all of that, Millie Guthrie didn't get any points because Sean Corbin called a holding on Shauna Brown.
You know what you call that? You call that Millie Vanilli.
Is that what you call that?
Maybe not.
14-10, the Hot Dice on top. And out there now for the Illinois Riot is number 57, Crystal Schneider. Brown watching with a critical eye from the bench, his women's team. And now he's over there conspiring with Ray Robles as they talk about the 4th period still to come when the men get back on the track. But Kim Hart out on the jam. Oh, nice elbow. Maybe Kim Hart's a little upset about the fact that she hasn't done much in this game because she sent Schneider down to the track and hard. Now, trying to get by Delgado. Here comes Kim Hart. The Heartbreaker reaches the pack and gets a little help inside there from Shea Brown to pick up a couple of points and calls the jam off. 4 points scored that time by the Nevada Hot Dice.
And once again, the sheer athletic ability of the Nevada Hot Dice emerges. If these guys just stick with their guns, the Riot can in no way, shape, or form keep up with them.
Kim Hart goes to the bench as the Hot Dice have taken an 8-point lead. This will be the final jam of the women's period. It's 18-10 in favor of the Hot Dice. And trying to get out there on the jam for the Illinois Riot. Ileana Bonilla gets out for the first time. She's a high up on the track, and tracking her for the Hot Dice is number 34, Laura Weintraub. So it's Weintraub and Bonilla this time. Trying to score the points, and Bonilla won't get any points that way, laying on the ground off the track, having been railed by Weintraub.
Well, you have to ask yourself, how is Laura Weintraub going to respond to the fact that Shea Brown has said that she wants to be the leader of the Showgirls? Kim Hart is kind of being shoved out as the leader of whatever's left of the Showgirl sizzle. A question mark still is Laura Weintraub and how she will react, Rory.
Well, if there's one thing that we've never seen in this league, it's team dissension.
Only in the broadcast booth.
Laura Weintraub reaches the back of the pack, trying to pick up some points, getting an assist back there. Now she gets to Delgado, who has been knocked out already by Shea Brown. And let's see what they give her. The helmet slams down, and there goes Shea Brown up to pay another visit to Patsy Delgado. She says the period might be over, but our feud is far from over.
Well, we seem to have started the first period like this. Why not end the 3rd period the same way? And of course, the hair they always have to go there in these women.
I don't know if the men will go to the hair, but if they do, they're going to have trouble grabbing a hold of this guy. Jason McDaniel in the Nevada Hot Dice, ready to go against